What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another post-draft prospect rebuild here on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Today, the Jabari Smith Jr. Houston Rockets rebuild. They obviously had the third overall pick. Jabari Smith Jr. fell into their lap. There was heavy rumors that he was going to go number 1 overall to the Orlando Magic. Obviously, things changed, and he's now a Houston Rocket, and our goal today is to obviously win a championship. I think there's a lot of things to really like about this Houston Rockets team. They've had a really good start to their kind of post-James Harden era, a really good start in their rebuild. Obviously, Jabari Smith Jr., number 3 overall pick they just had. They have Jaylen Green and a ton of other young talent surrounding this squad. So I think we're going to have a lot of flexibility and a lot of options to make a lot of moves in today's video. And finally, I do want to hear from you guys down below in the comment section. Besides these post-draft prospect rebuilds, what are some other videos you guys do want to see? We can kind of get into some of the free agency rumors. Free agency actually starts this Thursday at 6 p.m. So we're going to be kind of getting in if there's any really big free agent signings, any big trades, anything like that. Of course, I will go ahead and do those rebuilds. And I do want to hear from you guys down below in the comment section. And while you're down there, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. Leave a like on the video as well. That does help out the channel as well. So these Houston Rockets fans want a really good contending team with James Harden, Clint Capella. They had Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook at one point. We're into a new era, and I really do think it was for the best, and I'm hopefully excited to win a championship. Let's get into it. So we'll kind of quickly go over the roster a little bit. Obviously, the Houston Rockets had 3 first-round draft picks, so they're kind of just building on that young talent and really going ahead and kind of setting themselves up for some really good future success, in my opinion. So KPJ, who came over, I believe, from Cleveland. I think there was something going on in Cleveland. He's now over here in Houston. I'm excited to see what he can kind of do with this squad. I don't know if he's 100% a long-term answer for me, but I'm going to give him a go. I'm definitely going to have him as my starting point guard here today. I think in real life he's a little bit more of a definite, not maybe 100% in the long term, but I think he's very good. I think the potential is there for him and Jaylen Green to kind of flourish as a backcourt duo for many years. Here in the game, that's not so certain. Ty Washington, who was one of their first-round draft picks in the 2022 draft. I'm excited to see if he can develop well enough to potentially have a really good spot in this team. Obviously, you see John Wall is gone. Funny enough, like an hour before I started recording this video, he agreed to a buyout with the Rockets and is now looking like he's signing with the Clippers. So, funny enough how that all works out. He was going to get traded anyways, but he's not on this team anymore. Jaylen Green, kind of my focus of this video. He's obviously very, very good. He had a really good rookie campaign. I'm excited to use him in today's video. Josh Christopher here as well, another young piece on this team. This team, as I mentioned, just super, super young, super talented. Eric Gordon's probably going to be gone. Really doesn't fit the timeline of this team at all. He's definitely the oldest player on this team. I'm going to try to find a trade for him. Terry Eason, another one of their first-round draft picks, LSU, correct? Yes, he is. And then Sterling Brown here doesn't really fit the timeline. We can kind of work on that. Jabari Smith Jr., this is his rebuild. I need him to absolutely flourish, and I'm really hoping he can kind of do that for us. 6'10", obviously can space the floor a little bit. Really good catch and shoot guy. I'm excited to see what we can do. We got Jayshawn Tate here as well, and then Kenyon Martin Jr., who I actually believe might have requested a trade. Maybe just wasn't playing enough, but whatever the situation may be, we will figure it out. Sengun, however you say it, is here. I like him. I think he had a really good rookie season, actually, for the Rockets, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I didn't catch too many Rockets games. They really weren't nationally televised too much. Marquise Chris, probably not an answer, and then Usman Garuba as well. So we have options with this team, as I mentioned. We're going to have a lot of money, a lot of cap space to go out and kind of sign whoever we want. I want to emphasize this is not a realistic rebuild whatsoever. So we enter a free agency. Do we have any free agents? We got Bruno Fernando, who I'm probably going to let go. It looks like Kyrie actually opted into his player options, so whoever made this kind of shared file, maybe they can update that. I'm obviously not signing him anyways. We do have $35 million to play with. I don't really see myself signing really any of these big-name free agents. Imagine if I had to sign Harden. How funny would that be? Yeah, I don't really see a real fit here. I mean, Ayton could be fun maybe, but like, yeah, I don't really know about that. I kind of want to roll with Sengun. I really do. So we might make a trade or two. Let's see what we can do. We are sending Eric Gordon over to the Detroit Pistons for a 2025 first-round pick and a 2024 second-round pick. We get rid of nearly $20 million in salary and a guy that, albeit it's a decent player, really didn't fit the timeline of this team. I'd rather give the minutes to some younger guys when we kind of know we're not going to be good and we can kind of maybe go ahead and develop them as much as possible. So what I'm going to do right now is figure out how this starting five is going to look. I think our weakest spots, if you will, are definitely the small forward and the center spot. Not a shot at Sengun. I just think overall wise, we look at the other positions, it's maybe one of our weaker points. And I think I am going to probably give Sengun the start for your number 1. Again, still really young, definitely still a lot of raw potential. I don't know if I trust Terry Eason maybe starting. We might want to look at some free agent options here. I mean, Miles Bridges is potentially an option for that small forward, maybe stretch forward spot. A little bit, another guy, maybe a filler almost, would be a TJ Warren. Other than that, there's not a ton of options that I'm not even trying to say realistic, that just more so kind of fit us, if you will. So I maybe wouldn't mind potentially taking a flyer on Bridges, and I say flyer like he's probably not going to be getting a max contract from the Pistons in real life. Hornets are giving him pretty much a max in this game. I think that they're like hesitant to give him a max in real life, which I kind of find interesting. But looks like Ayton's going to be going back to the Suns. Even if I offered him a deal, they probably would have matched it. I do want to give Şengün a little bit of time. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give Miles Bridges some money. I'm not saying he's going to be here the entire video, but I'm going to go ahead and max him out for now. I think he could be a good filler player. And it's weird because I don't really consider Miles Bridges a filler player, but, you know, we eventually do got to spend a little bit of money. Got to improve the team a little bit. So, we get Miles Bridges. Are the Charlotte Hornets going to match it? They do not. So, Miles Bridges is officially a Houston Rocket, and he's actually going to be starting at small forward for me. Moving down to small forward, nothing really changes in his overall, and he is going to be starting. Terry Easton will be his backup. I'm probably going to move on from Sterling Brown. And other than that, I think this team's pretty much all set. I'm probably going to trade one of these two guys right here. What's the contract situation with both of them? Free agent, and then one more year in Kenyon Martin Jr. He's also a little bit younger, so I think maybe Jayshawn Tate could be potentially traded as well, along with Marquise Chris. So it looks like Brown, Tate, and and Chris are all going to be moved. I think I'm kind of a little more hesitant to trade Jayshawn Tate just because he is such a higher overall. I mean, he's not too much higher than Kenyon Martin Jr., but just giving up a 79 is never really something I like doing. But yeah, let's get the first two out of the way. Marquise Chris, who I don't really see a role with here. I'd rather develop the younger pieces and see if we can potentially maximize on, how about 2 first-round picks? The Grizzlies, goddamn. Kind of funny some of the trade offers you can get in this game. It really, really is. I'm not going to fleece the Grizzlies again. Is there any 2023 first-round picks? Anybody want to give me one of those? 2026? Wow, the 2023 one from the Grizzlies. They're going to be good, though. I'll just take the 2026 one from the Hornets. Might be valuable eventually. Again, we just took one of their probably best players from them. And then, again, I'm hesitant to give up Jayshawn Tate for nothing, but I'm not going to pay him next season. I'm not going to lie to you guys. We have our starter power forward in Jabari Smith Jr. It'd kind of be a waste for me to just kind of keep him on the roster, especially when somebody a little bit younger could develop. A 2024 Cavs pick, they do tend to be really, really good, which is unfortunate, or I probably would have taken that. A Knicks top 5 protected pick and a top 10 protected pick in 2024. It's actually a protection backup. But yeah, that's fine with me. We also acquire a trade exception. We now have a 10-man rotation going into the first season. Again, I don't think this team's going to be necessarily good. Maybe another developmental year and a really high draft pick. I will see you guys at the start of year number 1 here in Houston. We made a couple major moves in our first offseason, and overall-wise, I think this team's really set up well for the future. Starting 5 is as follows. Kevin Porter Jr., Jaylen Green, Miles Bridges, who was our really big free agent signing. I honestly haven't made a big free agent signing in a while, so I'm kind of excited to have a guy that I didn't necessarily trade for, just have on the team here. So I'm excited to see how that works. Our number 3 overall pick, Jabari Smith Jr., who we do have very, very high hopes from. And then Alperen Şengün, or however the hell you pronounce his name, could hopefully be pretty decent for us. Again, I don't have the highest hopes in the world in the game, especially for him, but I think he's good enough for at least for a year, maybe 2 years. Eventually, we'll decide that. What's KPJ's contract? So he is a free agent. I'll be interested to see if I have any sort of rights on him or anything like that. But, yeah, we'll see. Bench unit, Kenyon Martin Jr., Josh Christopher, Terry Easton, Usman Garuba, and Ty Washington. So a very, very young bench. Overall-wise, we're a really, really young team. I believe Bridges is probably our oldest player at 24, if my math is correct. Yeah, he definitely is. Miles Bridges is our oldest player on this team that's actually playing. I'm sure we got some bench units. Yeah, we got like Rondos and Justin Holidays and Danielle House. Well, actually, Danielle House is back in Houston. That's funny enough. We're not going to be a good team, most likely. Maybe we'll sneak into a potential play-in spot, but I don't really see it. I'll see you guys at the end of the first year. We wrap up year number 1 here, and yeah, it was not a good one. We were dead last in the Western Conference, number 30th in the power rankings, assuming we probably had the worst record. I said maybe playing, but yeah, that didn't happen. Luka Doncic, first MVP to average a triple-double since Russell Westbrook, who, yeah, unfortunately for Lakers fans, looks like he's going to be spending a lot of time in Los Angeles, at least for the upcoming season. Yeah, this game loves Luka. It's ridiculous. Chet Holmgren, your Rookie of the Year. Would have been cool if Jabari could have got it, but nonetheless, he was probably still in the candidacy, and Chet Holmgren's very good. Brickleberry Simmons, congrats. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Defensive Player of the Year. Nick Claxton, Most Improved. Willie Green, Coach of the Year. Here come the big bad Pelicans. I love doing Western Conference rebuilds because I get to deal with things like this. We went 25-57 for the second. Wow, the Bulls sucked? This team wins 23 games? What in the... Why? I don't play with injuries on. That's crazy. We'll take a look at some numbers. Good damn. Scoring-wise, Jaylen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., Jabari Smith Jr., really solid rookie campaign, around where I was expecting. Josh Christopher, Şengün, Bridges, wow, not as high in the scoring department as I maybe would have hoped. I mean, again, I'm not saying I need him to put up 25 a game, but, like, what are you averaging? That's it. I don't know why I thought he was higher. I mean, what was his year this year? Because obviously this was simmed. I'm actually going to look that up. I'll look that up after. I'm not saying I want him at 25 points a game. That's not why I signed him. I know he's not that, but like, god damn, I thought it'd be a little bit higher than that. All right, we are obviously not in the playoffs. Let's go ahead and simulate the entirety of the playoffs because, let's get through this painful process. The Pelicans, and yep. It's two things. Actually, there's more than two things, but two things that are pretty much guaranteed if you do a 3-year rebuild in 2K. One, Luka Doncic, always going to win at least one MVP. I have quite literally never done a rebuild in 2K22 that he has not won at least one MVP. And the second being Zion Williamson turns into an absolute cheat code and wins at least one finals. It just always happens. It's like, it's a guarantee. Like, I could probably do a Pelicans rebuild blindfolded just because I know for a fact that I win a championship with that dude on this team. I'm not saying Zion's not good at basketball. I'm not saying now that he's hopefully going to be back for the Pelicans and fully healthy, that they're going to be a good team. I can honestly see them making it to the second round of the Western Conference playoffs. But I really don't see a way that Zion Williamson is, averaging a shit ton of points a game and stuff like that. I believe there's a pick swap on that trade with Brooklyn. I really hope there is. We also have two other picks via the Knicks and the Bucks. I know that Knicks one's top 5 protected. I don't know what the Bucks protection is. We have the second overall pick. I knew that. We also have the 10th overall pick via the Knicks. And what was the other one? Oh, we also have 4 via Milwaukee. That's sick. My face cam just froze, looks like. But 2 top 5 picks and number 10. That's huge, especially for a team like this. We hit staff signing now. I don't think Steven Silas, however you pronounce it, again, horrible with names, is the best head coach in the world, but I'll give him one more year, and again, we can maybe move on if things don't work kind of past that. Obviously, he's coaching a team where the oldest player is 24 years old. You're really not expected to be good no matter how good the talent is that he does have to coach. But what we got for us is a lot of picks, and we got 2, 4, and 10. I'm not saying we're going to be keeping all of them. Miles Bridges is butthurt for God knows what reason. I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe it just didn't work out with us, but Miles wants to go. Miles can go. This is a really big trade. We're going to hit a little 2 for 1 here. I looked it up. Miles Bridges did average 20 points this year. I honestly thought that was kind of around where he was. I don't really know what happened in the game, especially because we really didn't have a huge scoring option. Maybe it's because I played him at small forward instead of power forward. Maybe he didn't fit the system. Whatever it may be, he kind of wanted out. It was pretty clear on that, and I really didn't want to pay him nearly $30 million to put up those numbers. So we're going to send him to Sacramento, where careers have been known to thrive. We're going to pick up Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox. It's not a shot against Kevin Porter Jr. I just don't know if I'm going to have any sort of rights on him. And then we acquire Sabonis. Not Sengun was bad, or Sengun wasn't necessarily bad, but we're going to go ahead and get a solidified guy who's going to be playing next to Jabari Smith Jr. So we still have the second overall pick. I do not know what I want to do with that. I mean, again, I don't know this draft class super well. I know Victor's in it. Keontae George is in it as well. And then Scoot Henderson, who actually ends up playing super well. I just have no idea what I want to do with this pick. And there's just so much young talent on this team that I'm still honestly a little bit confused. So I'm either going to draft somebody or I'm going to make a trade, and I'll see you guys whatever ends up happening. I couldn't find a trade. We're just going to keep the second overall pick. I'm assuming Victor's going to go number 1. He typically always does. He would have been a cool guy to have, but we do have Sabonis. We have Sengun. I don't necessarily need him. If he didn't go number 1, he actually didn't. Now it feels like I have to draft him. It really does. Like, I can't just not draft him. Like, could draft Keontae George, but he'd be a backup for Jaylen Green. I don't know. I have Josh Christopher. I obviously have Sengun, who I don't mind at all, but I just kind of traded for Sabonis. I'm going to take him. At least I know that trade value is high if I do end up wanting to trade him. That's obviously not 100%, but taking the best player available in a rebuilding team is always my best motto. When you're a really bad team, you take the best player available. You let the cards fall where they may, and that's typically what ends up happening. All right, all these guys are coming back. I have no idea why Kenyon Martin Jr. is butthurt, but he's coming back. Same with Garuba, Christopher Sengun, and Jalen Green, who obviously needs to play potentially a little bit better for us next year. KPJ, going to get that qualifying. Might be a little pissed off that we traded for a new point guard. We definitely don't have any money here in free agency, which is really not a shocker. KPJ is restricted. We do have bird rights on him, so we can bring him back if we want to. I'll figure out what I want to do. If we kind of take a look at the breakdown of this team right now, obviously we have De'Aaron Fox and Jalen Green as our backcourt. That's really not a surprise there. We definitely need to figure out the small forward spot. And I think maybe that's where we trade a guy like Victor Wembanyama, who was really solid for us, and honestly, or not really solid for us, who has the potential to be really solid, and maybe could get something for him if I might have to include KPJ in a trade as well, which sucks, but I am going to have to maybe give him a little bit of money where I can maybe match it up more with a bigger money potential trade. I'm stuttering all over myself. Let me go ahead and wait for Kevin Porter Jr. to either get a contract or get through moratorium. I will pay him And then we are going to trade for a small forward. I'm sorry, Kevin. I would have liked to keep you, but yeah, I'm gonna roll with De'Aaron Fox. Let's get a trade done. I tried to make some really, really big trades, and ultimately the money didn't work, or the player was untouchable. I tried to trade. I'll just give you names. I tried to trade for Jimmy Butler. The money did not work at all. He was making way too much. And then I tried to trade for Devin Booker, and he was untouchable. So, yeah, Victor Wembanyama, who has 4.5 stars in trade value, is going to get me Jaylen Brown and Peyton Pritchard. I will show you the other offers. I need a small forward. It's kind of what it comes down to. Maybe could have taken Michael Porter Jr. I still think Jaylen Brown is a whole different tier better than him. Sadiq Bey is an option. I think Jaylen Brown clears him. DeJounte Murray is not a small forward, or I would have liked to have him. DeAndre Ayton as a center would have been cool. Keontae George. I'm sure a lot of you are saying you don't need to go through every single one of these, but yeah, Jaylen Brown's pretty much our best option. So we're going to acquire him. He's going to be our new starting small forward. He also brings a level of scoring that we really didn't have on this squad. So I'm really excited about that. I need to figure out what I want to do now because I have Peyton Pritchard. I also have Ty Washington, who, I mean, wasn't horrible for us for the minutes that he played, but Peyton Pritchard's actually pretty good. He's actually a pretty good three-point shooter as well. So we'll kind of see what we want to do here. Is Pritchard a free agent after this year? I believe he is, correct? Yeah, he is. So could maybe trade Peyton Pritchard and then maybe include Kenyon Martin Jr. as well, who seems just pissed at the world for whatever reason. I'll probably move on from Garuba as well. So, yeah, let's get that done. We're going to move on from, not Jabari Smith Jr., from Kenyon Martin Jr. and Peyton Pritchard for a different backup power forward. Again, kind of just making the team better as we go along, see if we can upgrade along the way. Let's look for a power forward. Nikola Jovic, that would be funny. Probably not going to happen, though. Keita Bates-Diop, that's definitely not happening. We're not getting a lot of good power forwards here, which is really unfortunate. Ooh, Poku. Let's take Poku. Is he he's probably a free agent, though, isn't he? Contract. Can I not look at it here? Yeah, he's expiring. But we also get that Thunder first-round pick this year, which could be cool. It's actually our own first-round pick. I have no idea how they have our first-round pick. Is it the Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul trade? I have no idea. Nonetheless, we're going to also move on from Usman Garuba. We just really don't need him on this team with Şengün being the backup now to Domantas Sabonis. So I'll take a first-round pick here from the Bulls, who for some reason just sucked last year. Maybe it'll be valuable. This is definitely a new and better-looking Rockets team for year number 2. I'll see you guys at the rotation. Start of season number 2 here in Houston. I almost just said Oklahoma City. We have made a couple other major changes to the starting 5, and it goes as follows. De'Aaron Fox, Jalen Green, Jaylen Brown, Jabari Smith Jr., and Domantas Sabonis. A really overall interesting starting 5. Really not the way I kind of had this one planned out, but it's a really improved starting 5, and I'm hoping for the best here. Bench unit's still pretty good. Josh Christopher, Alperen Şengün, Poku, Terry Eason, and Ty Washington. So we still have 2 of their first-round picks in the bench unit. That's pretty cool. Definitely maybe could have capitalized on a little bit of value there, but I'm excited. And obviously we kind of hurt their development playing 12 and 10 minutes a night respectfully. But I'll live with it. I will see you guys at the end of year number 2. And it's official. We go from worst to first. At least in the regular season, we were the 15 seed last year in the West. We are the 1 seed here in the West in year number 2. We are the 2 seed in the power rankings, if you want to count that, because people care. Luka Doncic, 2nd straight season triple-double, 2nd straight season MVP. Congrats. Victor's your rookie of the year. We traded him to Boston. Yeah, he's very, very good. Maybe should have kept him over Sabonis, but I'm comfortable with Domantas Sabonis. Victor. We obviously got Jaylen Brown as well. Brickleberry Simmons always wins 6th man. Giannis wins pretty much Defensive Player of the Year every year. Usman Garuba, our old friend. That's an old thing in 2K. Yeah, you trade a bench player, and they tend to win Most Improved. It's been happening in 2K for years. JB Bickerstaff, Coach of the Year. So we're the 1 seed here. That's pretty cool. We finished the record of 56 and 26. Not too bad. Take a look over here at the East. The Cleveland Cavaliers look to be pretty good. Also, it's worth noting, we have the Chicago Bulls pick. And okay, that's just like whoa. Like, I get it, but like, put them higher up in the standing if they have the tiebreaker. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. Let's take a look at some stats on the year. See how we did. De'Aaron Fox less than scoring, followed by Jalen Green, Jaylen Brown, Jabari Smith Jr., Domantas Sabonis, Josh Christopher, Şengün, Terry Eason, Poku, Ty Washington, Mioni's down there as well. Rebounds went to Sabonis, and assists was De'Aaron Fox. So let's simulate the plan. We got the Oklahoma City Thunder here. In the first round, Shea, Giddey, Usman Jang, Kenyon Martin Jr., Chet Holmgren, Peyton Pritchard, Trey Mann. Obviously, the number 2, number 3 overall picks going against each other right now. 2 young and up-and-coming teams with a lot of trade assets and a lot of young talent. Let's see who gets the best of who in the first round. We are up 3-2. We are not blowing a 3-1 lead, are we? We did not. And here come the defending champion, New Orleans Pelicans, who just have Zion Williamson Obviously a pretty good surrounding cast, but he's pretty much a cheat code. I wouldn't be surprised if we lost. Pretty much the same shit every single time. I'm getting pretty sick of it. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I want to turn Zion's overall down. Like, I like Zion. He's obviously one of the more entertaining players to watch in the entire league when he's fully healthy, but it's getting annoying to have to deal with him just being a demigod in 2K every time I want to do a Western Conference team specifically. It's annoying. It is what it is. We'll hopefully get better and hopefully be able to just kick the living fucking shit out of him next year. Sorry, that might have been a bit much. All right, we got that Bulls pick that is projected at number 10 right now. Let's see what ends up happening. It sticks at number 10, so that's pretty cool. I don't think I see any other picks, at least in the lottery. I see we have 18 as well and 23. So, staff signing. It might be time for a new head coach. Stauffer's here, and we have the money for him, and he's obviously very, very highly rated. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's head up to the NBA draft now, and we have the 10th pick, 18th pick, 23rd pick, 29th pick all in the first round, and then 8 and 20 in the second round. And we have one player under contract, that being De'Aaron Fox. I'm going to draft somebody with number 10. The rest are going to get traded, and I'll see you guys in the draft. We are here in the NBA draft. We are simulating up to the 10th overall pick. We can see the summary so far. DJ Wagner, Bay Fall, Kwame Evans Jr., Gigi Jackson. I know who none of these people are. Elijah Fisher. Cool. It's just more depth. Honestly, did I need him? Probably not. Am I going to use him? Probably not. But it's depth. You never know. All of these guys are coming back. That's obviously huge. We get qualifying offers. Poku can get us qualifying. I don't know if we have any other major free agents. Oh, yes, we do. That's... Stop speaking. You know we do. Jaylen Brown, I need you back. Domantas Sabonis, I need you back. And then we can wait on Poku. Yeah, that's obviously huge because I would have been screwed if I did not get Jaylen Brown and Domantas Sabonis back on this team. And then now we can extend Poku a qualifier, just an offer. Do we have enough money for him? We do. Cool. All right. We got a team now that was just a 1 seed. We lost to the big bad Pelicans, who are just the second coming of Kobe and Shaq's Lakers. I mean, goddamn. I don't even know what else to do with this team, really. I don't really think there is much else to do. I mean, we're in like a really good spot right now. I want to keep Terry Eason. I'm very comfortable with Josh Christopher. I'm honestly fine with Ty Washington. I don't really know what else I want to do. Like, if I trade Ty Washington and throw up, who the hell did we just draft? Ty Washington and Elijah Fisher, whoever you are. Can I go ahead and maybe get an upgrade at the... Wow, he has 3.5 stars in trade value? Wow. Would I maybe prefer a defensive-minded center? Like, if I did, like, Sabonis, Elijah Fisher, and a first-round pick, what are my offers? I'm not shitting on Sabonis, but I'd be, like, Bam... I think it's obvious that Bam Adebayo is a better center. That's just my opinion, except when he's being guarded by Robert Williams. Why can't I see his fucking contract? Did I skip it? I might have skipped it. Jesus Christ. I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. Do I want Bam? Could take Tingus Pingus, who's obviously locked up. This is the final year, but like, what are their stats? Like, I'll check them out head to head. 15 and 10 versus 12 and like. Yeah, I'll take Bam. We also get Nikola Jovic. I think Bam's an upgrade, like, in many stats of the game. He's obviously a really, really good defensive center, and hell, he was favored to win Defensive Player of the Year for a very long portion of this NBA season. So, yeah, we're going to take Bam, and then I guess Nikola Jovic can just sit on the bench down here because I'm still playing Poku. And, yeah, that's the squad. I think it's good enough to be a 1 seed again. I will see you guys at the start of the third and final year. Start of the third and final year here in Houston. We have made one change to the starting 5, that being the addition of Bam Adebayo. You can debate a wall in the comments if you want. I'm taking Bam over Domantas Sabonis any day of the week. They're obviously very different types of centers, but I'm rolling with Bam. De'Aaron Fox, Jalen Green, Jaylen Brown, Jabari Smith Jr., and Bam Adebayo is the starting 5 here for the third and final season. Bench unit, Josh Christopher, Alperen Şengün, Poku, Terry Eason, and Ty Washington. It's a very, very good bench as well. 1 seed last year. I'd like to maybe hit 60 wins this year. That would be cool. I'll see you guys at the end of the third and final year. It is a three-peat in the MVP department for Mr. Luka Doncic. He doesn't get the triple-double this year. He must have fallen off significantly. I'm not really sure what happened. We're once again a 1 seed here in the Western Conference. Doesn't matter. Let's see if the Pelicans have something to say about it. Chris Livingston, your Rookie of the Year, is in D.C. Scoot Henderson, 6th Man of the Year. He always ends up winning 6th Man. Pretty much no matter where he goes, he always puts up ridiculous stats. That's the third year. Jaren Jackson Jr., Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved Jalen Duren, and Coach of the Year, Stauffer. We go 63-19. My 60-win want, I guess, kind of came true. 13 games ahead of the Pelicans for the 1 seed here, so at least we won't have to see them to the West Finals at a minimum. Fox, Green, Smith, Brown, Christopher, Adebayo, Şengün, Poku. And again, I knew Bam was kind of going to be relatively close to what Sabonis was. I just like the defense. I think that was my main point. Murray, Nishad, Highland, MPJ, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic, Omaha Billu, that's an awesome name, is the first round matchup for Denver here. We got in round number 1. First round matchup in round number 1. That typically does tend to happen. We win in 5. We're moving on to Oklahoma City here, who have, well, never mind. They added Karl Anthony Towns. Sweet, because, why wouldn't you add Karl Anthony Towns? We're up 3-0, and they get a game in there, and we win. And here we go. They don't have CJ McCollum anymore. I guess that might help. They now have Mo Wagner starting at center, but are they still going to be too good for us? It's just like, okay, we win 2 games. We're down 3-2 now. Simulate with SimCast, just see what's happening. I obviously can't hop in. But, it looks like we're going to be taking this one, unless we have a catastrophically blown lead. Wow, we held them to 72 points when they're trying to close the door on their home court. Oh, shit, I did not Whoa. I meant to simcast it, but, congrats. What a choke job. Not Zion's fault, though. All right, we got the Atlanta Hawks here in the NBA Finals. Trae Young.
Sorry, could you say that again? My apologies.
Shut up, Siri. Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Clint Capella, Onyeka Okongwu, Jared Vanderbilt, Jalen Johnson. Very deep Hawks team right here. Let's go game by game with them. We are up 2-0. We are up 3-0. And again, I don't know if the game's going to crash. It used to crash in my other saved file. It might crash in this one just because autosave's not on. But we'll get a little bit of gameplay. If it crashes, I hope you remember what the team looks like. And are we going to lose this one? Yeah, we're going to lose this one. All right. Hopefully in the next game, I can get a little bit of gameplay. I want to do it on our home floor anyways. I think this Rockets team was fun. I think they deserve a little bit of gameplay. And yeah, we're blowing them out of the water here in game number 5 on our home court. And Jesus Christ, the defense of this team is really, really stepping up. 152 points. I will see you guys in there. We are going to be getting a championship here in Houston. We have scored 152 points, which is obviously really, really cool. Not something that happens very often. We go for the quick double. Jabari Smith Jr. blocks the shit out of John Collins. Jaylen Brown's got 31 on the night. I'm very happy I have him. I hope the Celtics do not trade him ever. I like Jaylen Brown way too much. Jabari Smith Jr. down to the rack. He's got 20 on the night now. And we have dropped a $154 against Atlanta in an elimination game. If you let the opposing team score more than I don't even want to give a number, but if you let them score anywhere near 154 points when you're, backs against the wall in an elimination game in the NBA Finals, you don't deserve to be anywhere near the finals. I'm sorry. It's 154 points. That's kind of crazy. Jalen Green with a quieter night. I mean, he has 10 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists. He's potentially our best player, so would have liked maybe a little bit of something else here. That might be the worst floppy of all time. Catch and shoot here. Jabari Smith Jr. would have been cool to get to go, but no. He's obviously very good at catching and shooting. They're going to throw it up here to, who is that? I didn't even see the last name. Josh Christopher's in the game right now. Can we just blow by? Nope. We're going to go backdoor. Nope. Okay, I'm all over the place. Pick and roll. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Jalen Green has hops. He's going to get blocked, obviously. Yeah, I'm not very good at this basketball game. Back to Jared Vanderbilt, and Jaylen Brown blocks him. Jaylen Brown is very good at chase down blocks, if you did not know. Jalen Green is fast as shit. No contact there. I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. And I fouled out. Okay, I'll see you guys in the Finals MVP. Fortunately for me, in this shared file, that does not happen where the game kind of quits itself. I know if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that in some of the other rebuilds I did that it wouldn't let me go back to this screen. It just quit. Cool enough. De'Aaron Fox is your Finals MVP. Congrats. He definitely deserved it. And overall wise, I'm happy. This is my first championship that I've had with a post-draft prospect rebuild. And this team's obviously still super young as well. But I had a ton of fun with this one. If you guys did enjoy, leave a like down below. It definitely helps me out. It definitely helps out the channel and the video a ton. And I would appreciate it greatly. After this, if you guys want me to continue just going in order, that's fine by me. Of course, if you guys have any other special requests, leave them down below in the comment section. Also, if you guys didn't see, I put up a community poll. Both on my community channel or my community tab of my YouTube channel, and I put it up on Twitter. I want you guys to comment hot takes on either of those, and I'm going to make a video about it. So let me know any hot takes you guys have. You can put them in the comment section too if you want. Other than that, that wraps this one up. Keegan Murray most likely is going to be coming next. God, pray for me. I have to deal with the Sacramento Kings. Other than that, though, that wraps this one up. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.